Hello students, I'm here with another video from the chapter of class 7th NCERT book, that is Water, a Precious Resource. Before starting today's video, I would like to tell you all that till now what all things we have discussed in this chapter. So we started this chapter by seeing what is the meaning of the word resource. So we saw that resource means something, the natural things or the things which are going to fulfill our requirements. Okay, so if the things are present, these things are present in the nature, they are said to be as natural resource. So water is one such type of natural resource. Okay, so there are other types of natural resources we have already studied, and some we are going to study in the next chapter, like plants, animals, soil, air, water. All these are the natural resources. Okay, so here we are going to discuss about only the water as a resource. Now the next thing which we discussed was this word precious. What is the meaning of the word precious? Precious means something which is very valuable. Now, why this water is so valuable? I have given you many points regarding this. Okay, so we have studied, we have seen that water is a very valuable resource. Okay, and we have also discussed about the different forms of water, where we saw that at one time on the Earth's surface we have three forms of water. Okay, for example, the three forms of water are solid, liquid, and the gaseous. Now, the solid form of water is the example of solid form of water is ice, snow, okay, hail. All these are the examples of solid form of water. Similarly, we have also seen the liquid form of water, that is a very common one, that is the rainfall, okay. And now, what about the gaseous form of water? Gaseous form of water means it is in the form of water vapor, it is in the form of steam, okay. So, all these are the three, we can say that these are the three forms of water, and at the same time, we could see all these forms of water, fine, if we study about water cycle. Now, we have also seen the different steps of water cycle. Mainly three steps are there: condensation, evaporation, the first step, the second step condensation, and the third step is precipitation, that is very common. Now, regarding this evaporation, there is transpiration also. Together with this evaporation, transpiration also takes place. But the difference is in between evaporation and the transpiration is that evaporation means it is the the conversion of water into vapor with the help of sunlight. Okay, so that is said to be as evaporation. And now, if this evaporation is taking place from the aerial surface of the plants or from the surface of the plants, leaves, okay, so this is said to be as transpiration. We have already studied this transpiration part in chapter number first. Okay, so you can recall from there. After that, we discussed about that there are the what is the importance of groundwater and what is it. So groundwater is the water which is present inside the layers of the earth. Okay, after that we saw that this groundwater is going to be exhausted, but still it is not getting exhausted. And what is the reason? So the reason behind this is that it is getting recharged. Now, how it is getting recharged? It is getting recharged because of the process called infiltration. Okay, and we also discussed about the terms which are related to groundwater was that. So groundwater means the water which is present inside the ground, in between the layers of the soil, just below the layers of the soil, and it is the rocks are saturated with water, children. Okay, now the things which were related with the groundwater was that we have seen about infiltration, that I have told you. Infiltration means it is a way by which, it is a process of movement or seeping of water from the cracks which is present in the soil. Suppose that rainfall is happening, and after the rainfall, it is when the rainfall, the water is it is just collected over this soil surface, and after that what happens, the soil, this rainwater gets absorbed from the in the soil surface. Okay, now what happens after this absorption? After this absorption, where is this water going? This water is going deep into the layers of the soil, and it reaches and mixes with the groundwater. So this is how infiltration helps in the recharging of groundwater. Okay, Now there are many other ways by which you could recharge groundwater. Fine, there could be, if sometimes the place like seas or this lakes are there, rivers are there, and bed of these rivers, bed of the ponds, all these are made up of soil, and this soil is going to absorb the water from the ponds, from the rivers, from the springs, oceans, lakes. Okay, so this also helps in the recharging of groundwater. Okay, so this is how the groundwater is recharged. Now we are going to study about this groundwater, if we are using it, or rather using it, we are misusing this groundwater just because of our needs, we are taking it out. Now there are different ways because of which this groundwater is getting depleted. And we have also studied about, children, water table also is there. Water table and aquifer, two words are also there. So water table means it is the layer of water below the earth's surface. So this first layer of water is said to be the level at which we find water is said to be as the groundwater. And the layer till where we are going to find this groundwater, this is said to be as aquifer. Okay, so aquifer means it is the level just above. You could say that there are some at some places the rocks are present, and in between the rocks the groundwater is being is present. So this is said to be as aquifer. Okay, so we have all studied about this. Now today I'm going to give you the information regarding the depletion of groundwater, how it is getting reduced. Okay, so how this groundwater is being affected, how it is getting decreased, how this groundwater is getting depleted. Okay, so depletion of water table or depletion of groundwater. Depletion of water table. Okay, now what is the meaning of this depletion of water table or depletion of groundwater? Both are the same things. If depletion of groundwater is taking place, it means it is ultimately the water table which is getting down, which is reduced, which is getting decreased. Okay, so this is how this groundwater is getting depleted or it is being decreased. Fine. Now water drawn from under the ground gets replenished by this by seepage of rainwater. This just now I have given you the example and I have explained it to you right now, that when infiltration of this rainwater is taking place, then the groundwater is getting recharged. Okay, after that what happens, the water table does not get affected as long as we draw water as much as it is replenished by natural process. Okay, so this is the point to think, that if we are taking out several hundreds liters of water from this earth, from the groundwater, if we are adding it, or if it has been added to the groundwater, the same amount of water it is being added, it is getting recharged. It means the groundwater is not going to be depleted at all. So this has to be maintained. Okay, next, what is it? Water is not sufficiently okay, so it is given here, however water table may go down if water is not sufficiently replenished. Okay, if we are not able to provide water to inside the water table, or this water table is not getting recharged for some days, what would happen? Some days, or we should say some years are there, and then what happens after that? This groundwater is completely exhausted. Okay, if it is completely exhausted, then what happens? What will happen? It is going to give rise to certain crises, certain problems are going to arise. Now before we enter into the next part, that is how it is getting depleted, let us see there are various reasons for depletion of this groundwater. Okay, so then this may happen due to many sufficient reasons. Means if the groundwater is not getting recharged, it means there are certain reasons. Now we will find out what are the reasons for depletion of this groundwater. Okay, what are the reasons? So the reason number first is, this may happen due to many reasons, like increase in population. Okay, so the increase in population is there. This is the reason for depletion of water table. Okay, so what are the reasons? First is increasing population. Okay, increasing population. Now, second, what is the reason? The second reason regarding this depletion of groundwater is that industries or industrial uses is there, increase in population, industrial and agricultural activities. So we could take two more factors, that is industrial activities. Okay, then next is the agricultural activities. Fine. So these could be agricultural or industrial activities. Then after that, some of the these are the common factors which is responsible for the depletion of groundwater, okay, or depletion of this water table. Now, yet there could be another factors affecting water table could also be deforestation. Okay, the next factor could be deforestation. And also about the decrease in the effective area for seepage of water. Okay, there is decrease in the area of seepage. Now, what does this mean? Okay, I'll discuss each and every point one by one now. Fine, and there could be less rainfall, there could be another reason, okay? So these are the different reasons because of which the depletion of groundwater is taking place. The first reason is increasing population, then second reason is industrial activities, the third is the agricultural activities, then fourth is deforestation, fifth is the decrease in the appropriate place of seepage. Okay, now we go on to the first reason, that is increasing population. Now, how is this increasing population going to affect the decrease or the depletion of the water table? Okay, so this is a very important and it is a very common point we could say, and even it is a very you could easily recognize that why this is the biggest problem, that groundwater is getting, or this water table is getting reduced. So water table is getting reduced because of the increased population, children. See, we know that water is utilized by each and every organism, okay, whether it is human being, it is plant, or it is animals, and each and every organism is requiring this water for the domestic purpose. If we are human beings, we require water for domestic purpose as well as for drinking, and plants also require water for photosynthesis, okay, even animals are also require water for drinking purpose. Fine. And there is aquatic habitat is there, so in that plants and animals require water 24/7, well, isn't it? So it is like that because water is such a precious resource, it has to be used by each and every organism on the earth's surface. Now, if there is increase in the population of any organism, if we talk about human beings, it is very much clear. Okay, so we'll take up that example only. We are not going to discuss about the plants and animals because they're using only for the drinking purpose. But we humans, we are requiring this water for our domestic purpose as well as it is being required for our for drinking purpose also. Okay, so this water is very much necessary, and for each and everything we are dependent upon this groundwater. Okay, we are dependent upon this water table because we are using various techniques to take out water, to remove water from the water table. Okay, we are we are taking out water from this water table, children. Okay, now next thing what happens, this water table is getting reduced just because of that day by day this increasing population is increasing. The number of people are increasing. What is the meaning of this increasing population means? The number of people are increasing day by day. So each and every person requires water to drink for the domestic purpose, for different various purposes. Okay. Now from where is this water coming? It is coming, ultimately it is coming from the groundwater, and groundwater is directly related with water table as we have discussed. just right before 10 or 12 minutes. Okay, so what is it? Groundwater is required for each and every person, and if people are only increasing, it means groundwater has to decrease, because each and every person is requiring it and we are using it also. Okay, so we have discussed this first point. Okay, I'll not rub it what is written in your book, I'll just read it out and explain. I'll see that whether any point is left out, I'll explain that. Okay, so what is it given here? Increasing population creates demands for construction of houses, shops, offices, roads and pavements. Okay, so here one more thing is that we are not only requiring water for drinking purpose, even we require house to live, we require roads to walk, we require pavements, we require offices. Okay, so if the construction work is going on, if all these places are there, it means we are using, see, school is there, we are using water over there also. It's not like that only we are using water at our homes. It's not, it's very simple. So wherever the people are living, there the water is being required, whether it is office, school, roads. Okay, so anything it could be. So each and every construction is requiring water, as well as the people are also requiring water where they are going to live. Okay, so increasing population means there is a burden on this water table which is getting reduced, because of which, because we are not having the proper recharging techniques, or we are not adopting the proper recharging techniques. We are only taking out the groundwater for our purpose. Okay, that has to be minimized and recharging process has to be increased, children. That is the big difference. You can use that water, but we need to recharge that water at a particular time. Fine. Now, what else is given here? This decreases the open areas like parks and playgrounds. This in turn decreases the seepage of rainwater into the ground. Okay, so this is just a genuine reason, and this last reason is also being included in this first reason. Okay, so this last reason says decrease in the area of seepage. What does this mean? This means that everywhere there is a concrete floor. Okay, everywhere there is the marbles are present at your home or at your schools. Everywhere it is cemented floor. Okay, or this is just the concrete floor. So water is not going to be absorbed from this marble floor, or it is not going to be absorbed from the concrete floor or cemented floor, children. Okay, water has to be absorbed from the soil surface, from the soil surface. So we require open areas like parks, like the place where the grass is present, or the areas where only soil is present. Their percolation rate has to be increased. Okay, so it's very simple that you could understand where is this water getting, whether there is a place for seepage of water or not. If there is no seepage, there will be no this infiltration, and if no infiltration is there, then there will be no recharge of the groundwater. So the main theme is behind this is that if there is a decrease in the area of seepage, there will be decrease in the water table. Why? Because infiltration is directly related to this place, area of seepage. Okay. So here what is it? This in turn decreases the seepage of rainwater into the ground. What could be the consequences? Consequences means what could be the problem? So this is very much easy, and now it is very much clear, and you all have understood that if there is less place for the seepage of water, then there would be less recharge. I mean, the groundwater would be reduced, and the recharging of the groundwater would be affected. Okay, so that is what is the problem now. Now, next is that increasing population. This is going to, okay. So the one very simple experiment was there in the soil chapter, where you have studied about the fact that whenever a floor is concrete one, then the less absorption of water is taking place. Now if the soil place is there, or the place or the park is there where the grass is there, and at the same time if the same amount of water is being spilled over that area, then what happens, it is going to this is going to take very less time, and all the water is getting absorbed without any, in very less time. Fine. Now what happens? This results in the seepage of the rainwater, and this is going to recharge the groundwater. So this is the only practice which could recharge the groundwater. Okay. Now here it is written. Recall that pucca floor does not allow water to seep in easily, while in a grass lawn, water seeps through in no time. Okay, this is what I have just now discussed. Moreover, a huge amount of water is required for the construction work. We are constructing houses, we are constructing the offices, we are constructing the lawns, we are constructing the pavement. So each and every place is having a pakka floor. Okay, it is having the place where the more and more amount of the concreted floor is there, but there is very less amount of the water. We are leaving very less amount of water to seep inside the ground. Okay, so that is what is the main thing which we need to understand here. So on one hand, we are consuming more groundwater, and on the other hand we are allowing lesser water to seep into the ground. This results in the depletion of groundwater. Okay, so this results in the depletion of water table. In fact, the water table in some parts or in some cities have gone down to a very alarmingly lower levels. So this is a point to understand that whenever the groundwater is getting reduced, or water table is getting reduced, then what is happening? This is going to affect us only ultimately. So what is the effect? The effect would be like, okay, so what is it? Like it is given over here that whenever this results in the depletion of the water table. In fact, water table in some parts are very going down in a very alarmingly lower rate, lower levels. Okay, now what does this mean? This means that whenever the groundwater is present and if you're not recharging it properly, then what would happen? This is going to affect the water table, and if the water table is getting down, it is getting lowered, then what would happen if the population is increasing? So one day will come that the people, those who are increasing in number, they are not going to get groundwater, because for their living, for their movement, and for their life, for living a life, they all require water. Okay, and they are requiring different places like houses, streets, roads, market, okay, offices. So all has to be constructed, and for each and every construction work also we require lots of water. I think that you could easily understand. Okay, as some construction work is going on, that we are always dependent upon the groundwater. We are always dependent only upon the boring, isn't it? The boring of the pipes, it is required. So all these are going to affect adversely on this groundwater, children. Okay, so if groundwater is getting reduced, it means the water table is getting reduced, and as a result, increasing a number of people are not going to get the water. Okay, now next thing which is given over here is industrial activities. Now, what do you mean by industrial activities? See, some of the things I have just now discussed, that regarding the roads, if it is being made, offices are being made, houses are being made, construction work is going on. So construction, each and every, whether it is a small construction work or a large construction or a big construction work, each and every construction work is equivalent to this industrial activity, and each of this requires water. So it is directly related with water, and for water we are dependent upon what? We are dependent upon the groundwater, and groundwater is directly related with this water table. So I think now you could find connection between the things which we are discussing. So this increasing amount of industrial activities, like if the factories of different things are there, or anything which is being made, any article which is being made, for suppose that we have an industry of clothes, so there it requires water. If there it is a paper industry, it requires water. If it is the leather industry, it requires water. So if the work is small or big, it is not the matter of fact. The main thing over here is, for each small activity we are requiring this, and we are requiring this water. Okay, and directly we are dependent upon this water table, I mean groundwater, and groundwater means it is because of the amount of water table which is present, the level of water table. If water table is lesser, it means that groundwater is at a proper level, and if there is very less, the boring has to be done very deep into the earth surface, again it means that water table is moving downwards. Now because of the increasing population, because of the industrial increase in the works, then what is happening, this groundwater is getting reduced. Now if this groundwater is getting reduced, then what would happen, this is going to this is going to help us, this is going to help us in understanding that the groundwater is, the level of this water is getting reduced. Okay, so what is given here in your book, I'll just read it out for the increasing industries. I think this might be very clear. So water is utilized by all industries. Almost everything we use needs water somewhere in its production process. Now, if you say that if we are constructing such an article which is not requiring water, see children, if the article's construction or the means making of that article is not requiring water, but for cleaning purpose, okay, for the people those who are working over there, they require water, isn't it? So I mean to say that whether it is the industrial activities, or it is a work for supporting that industrial activity, each and every activity requires water. Okay, each and every activity requires water on this place. Fine. So increasing industries are going to utilize, they are going to help in the increased amount of there is an increase, continuously increasing in number. Now why these industries are increasing, these industries are increasing just because that increasing population. If population is increasing, they require work, they require they are going to require the I mean they want house, they want their to earn their livelihoods, for that industries has to be maintained. Okay, so all these points are interrelated. If increasing population is there, then increasing industrial work is there, then if industrial industries are going to increase, and again we are dependent upon the groundwater, and if we are dependent upon the groundwater, it means that we are somewhere affecting this water table. Okay, so this is very much clear, I think. Now it's given over here, water used by most of the industries are drawn from the ground. Name some industries which are familiar to you. Make a list of these products which are products obtained from these used in our daily lives. Okay, now discuss with your teacher and the parents how the growing industries activity is responsible for the depletion of groundwater. As just now I have discussed that if in population is increasing, each and every person requires food to eat, they require water to drink, they require clothes to wear. Now from where is this all these things coming? Each and everything is related with water. If we require food, again we are dependent upon plants, and plants are utilizing this water for the production of this food because of photosynthesis. That is a raw material for the plant. Okay, now next thing is that if the increased population is there, then it is going to fulfill, I mean the demands of increasing population would be fulfilled by these plants, the industries which is going to help to provide the various things which are being utilized by the people in their houses. Okay, whether it is clothes, whether it is uh, the things which we utilize, like if it is a wood industry, or if it is the plastic industry, or anything, it could be any industry we talk about. So if it is leather industry, it requires water, because for tanning and all, it requires consumes very large amount of water. Similarly, if it is a textile industry, it requires, textile means clothes. Okay, so where the clothes are being made, there also it requires water for dyeing purpose, for painting purpose. Okay, if it is the if it is a purpose, if it is a industry which is being utilized, which is being giving you the, I mean, which is producing various decorative items, even that also requires water. It is a clay industry, or it is just the crockery industry, or glass industry, or any metal industry is there. Each and every industry requires water, and somewhere we are directly dependent upon the groundwater, because we require the water in a very large amount. So for where we are going to get this water, so we are simply dependent upon the groundwater. Okay, we just simply do the boring, and then we are going to use a big pump sets over there, so that it could take out water, it could pump out water from the ground, and the work could go on. Okay, similarly, again, as a result, we are taking out water from there. It means that the water is getting reduced. Okay, so children, we have discussed about this is how the increasing population and industrial activities both are going to decrease or deplete the groundwater. Okay, so children, we have discussed these reasons. Now I'm going to tell you more about these reasons in the next class, and we have seen the groundwater and the terms which are related with this groundwater in today's class, even the reasons for the depletion of the groundwater, and all the reasons are written over here. Then next thing what we'll discuss would be the left out these three reasons. Okay, so that's all for today's video. I'll meet you all in the next video with the next topic to be discussed.